Hello, we are here with Mookie Tenembaum, who is an Argentine-based philosopher, and he has, as some of you know, accurately predicted many of the developments during the current crisis associated with the COVID-19 disease and the pandemic. So we are going to be interviewing him about his predictions, his thoughts on the matter, and the general framework of his philosophy. The first question in this series is a simple one enough. How does your philosophy, your line of thought, correlate with your predictions on the current crisis? And especially which aspect of your thought do you think has helped you in understanding what is going on?
Well, first of all, I should point out that my main body of work is Disillusionism. That's the name that I have dubbed my philosophy, okay? So Disillusionism, inside of Disillusionism, there are certain areas, and the area I think is more relevant to your question is misalgia, or misalgi. I don't know in English, we could anglicize the word. But basically, it comes from the word mis, that's to run away from, and algia, that's pain, yes, like analgesic. And in the case of misogyny, of course, this is not misogyny, yes? We're not running away from women, yes, because we are running away from, and the question is, we're running away from pain, from suffering. So the question about misalgia is this. The first question I ask myself, is life going to, are we going somewhere, or are we coming from? We could be doing two. I mean, if I leave now this apartment to go to yours, I'm coming from my apartment and going to yours. But when we are thinking about life itself, what does it look more? Am I running away from my house because I can't stand anymore the noise my children make, and you are just a pretext? Or am I leaving my house, but because I have only one reason, I want to go to your house to visit? Okay? It could be, of course, a combination of the two. But basically, which one is the predominant? And the answer in life for me is very clear. We are running away from the apartment, running away from the noise of the children. That means we are fleeing. It's not just living. We are not just coming from. We are fleeing. And when you are in a process of flight, where are you going? It's secondary. The first thing is to run away from that pain. Now, the problem with that is that why people think that life has a meaning. Meaning, basically, what they mean, they mean goals. Yes, there is a reason. I am doing something. I'm going somewhere. But the truth is that you are not going anywhere. You are fleeing, but it's not comfortable for you to think yourself as somebody fleeing. You know, the word coward is probably the most universal word that exists. I mean, the word that exists in every language, in every idiom. I'm sorry, in every culture, and it's always negative. You can't find a culture where it says, "Oh, I was a coward. Oh, we'll give you a medal. You left. I ran away from battle, and you get a medal for running away from battle." That never happens, ever. So it is already a bias of us not to see ourselves as coming from, because coming from means fleeing, and fleeing means coward, and coward doesn't look good. But not only life. I'm talking about the life of each individual. There is no life beyond the individual we're talking about. We're talking about human beings. Of course, there is life in bacteria. But when we're talking about human beings, there is no life. There's no such a thing as a life. It's the life of an individual. And those individuals are all fleeing. So basically, we are in a stampede. We are part of a stampede. Albeit an organized one. Albeit an organized one, but still a stampede. So I guess that answers your question.
Yes, it does. And how does this theory, this misalgic theory, apply to the current situation with the lockdowns and the pandemic going on? and people maybe cowering before the disease and the virus?
Well, cowering is a very good word to say what's happening. Basically, to run away, to avoid suffering, because fleeing is a way to avoid suffering, really. You have, in the animal world, you have two ways, yes? Fight or flight, yes? But there is another one, freeze. And that's what we're doing now. We're freezing. We are freezing, we're organized, again, very organized, the Stampede. Never the Stampede has been more organized. But I can tell you one thing about that. When the Stampede was the effect of everybody running, like in the other case, where there was no planning, everybody is running by himself, by herself. So that synchrony between all those parties running, it happened like evolution happened with Darwin's theory. Yes, it happens by itself for the different forces. Here we have the state telling us, you stay home, don't move. So now it's really organized. Now the Stampede is really organized, or it's I would say willingly organized. There is a will behind the organization. Exactly that, a will, one will, many wills, and of course our will. So we are now living in so instead of running, we're hiding. Basically what we're doing is we're hiding. And then we have to come out, with different kind of dressed in a special way. Everything now, when you come out, you don't have to look too human. Yes, the virus should not recognize you and get it to you. But basically, this is the very different situation in which we are living now.
What about the future? What about the next stage? How do you think our organized Stampede will continue after the pandemic is over?
Well, first of all, they will try to make in fact, that's what they're doing. They say, leave your holes in the ground where you are hiding very slowly. 1 hour today, 2 hours tomorrow. You can talk to your cousin, but you're going to talk to your friend. Be careful with the old people. It's a whole new game. But again, people, you see, this is going to be organized anyway by itself. As I told you, before this, there was also a Stampede. How it will be organized, how we will flee will be different. But we will be fleeing from different things. Now we are all fleeing from the virus. After that, people who are unemployed will be fleeing from unemployment or for poverty. People who have lost their family, they will still be fleeing from the virus. People who are afraid, we have a percentage of the people who are 60 years old or more, and I am one of them. Yes, for us, the world will be totally different. So we will be fleeing differently from somebody who is 25. And then, of course, if there is a vaccine, things will change again. But, and I say if, I'm not saying there will be a vaccine, if there is a vaccine. But basically, in the meantime, we will be organized in a Stampede, in an organized Stampede, by ourselves. But it will take much more time for that. And what we are seeing now, all the noises, all the problems that you have in the United States, all the riots and everything of that, it's the beginning of how the tectonic plates of this new Stampede will be met. Who is going to run first? Who is going to run after? And try especially not to step on each other, which I think we'll find quite difficult for a while.
Amazing. Thank you very much. We'll carry on in a different video.
If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment and subscribe.